Hello, I am Sarah and this is Amelia, and today we'll be talking about driving opportunities about the intermodal division today. We will just kind of cover what to expect at orientation. We will go over a pay overview. We will decipher what is the difference in intermodal compared to other positions, and then we'll also talk about endorsements that are required.
Great, and this is just a reminder that you can ask questions on this video call today, and please send those questions in and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. So first question then would be, what is intermodal? So intermodal is going to be containers coming from rail yards. So we receive shipments from overseas on boats, and then from these boats, these containers are then taken from the ports to the rail yards to distribute to areas across the country. So we need drivers across the country helping to service our intermodal division. Drivers will either pick up containers from major rail hubs, such as Chicago, California, Jersey, or Texas, and then distribute them to different locations, or you will pick up freight from the customer and take it to the rail yard.
So now we can talk about our endorsements, and when it comes to endorsements, we typically do require that has-been endorsement before you are hired. That has-been endorsement typically allows you to haul either non-hazardous materials or hazardous materials, and that can include gas, oil, or other liquid chemicals. And then when it comes to the tanker endorsement, that could be required after you were hired on. And we do allow you time to get that distinct time frame, but typically it is 60 days after hire. And with that tanker endorsement, you are carrying that bulk liquid material.
Great, and we have our first question from Ernesto asking for the dedicated position in his zip code, where is my orientation going to take place? So that is a great question, Ernesto. A recruiter will be happy to answer that question when you give us a call at 1-800-44-PRIDE, or you can go online, submit an application, and then one of our recruiting specialists would reach out to you.
And one thing I did want to mention, when it comes to seeing if that tanker endorsement is required at time of hire, like Amelia said here, you can go to schneiderjobs.com, type in that zip code, use a filtering system, and it will give you more of an idea of what is required for that position.
And if there's more than one intermodal position out of your zip code, a recruiter would be happy to discuss those differences and get you on something that's best suited for you. Okay, so then something else we want to discuss is what is the difference between intermodal and standard van truckload. So the interaction with the rail yard is probably the biggest key component on that difference. And with this operation, you are going to be using company-owned chassis. And with that, there's a couple advantages to that with them being company-owned. First and foremost, that means that you don't have to wait to pick up your container. And then with that too, we then control the maintenance on them. So ultimately, that's going to be a quicker turnaround and allowing you to be more productive as a driver. With intermodal as well, it's going to be mainly drop and hook freight. So that is, again, going to be no-touch freight, which is a great advantage for drivers.
All right, and then we'll go into some orientation information. We do divide that up into two different groups. You do have your experienced drivers and your inexperienced drivers. When it comes to experienced drivers, you're looking at having at least 3 months of tractor trailer experience. And that training time is also shortened compared to an inexperienced. You are there for about 5 days. And that does include going out over the road with the trained engineer, as well as classroom work, as well, getting to know our programs. And then also for inexperienced driving, that would be about a little over 2.5 weeks. And it's the same idea, out over the road with a trained engineer and then also in the classroom. And orientation, we do provide transportation, we do provide partial meals, and then we also provide a paid orientation.
Great, and with that, if you are just joining us, we are welcoming you to our live on intermodal. With that, if you do have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. With that, we did talk about orientation, and I kind of want to touch on then more of the opportunities we have with intermodal. Intermodal is great because there's some flexible options for you. We have local, which would be driving within a couple 100 miles of your home location. This is going to allow you to get home daily, which is really awesome. And with this home daily position as well, we have flexible scheduling. So that means you can have early morning, daytime, and even nighttime positions. Again, we have a shift that can fit your lifestyle. We then have regional that you will be hauling freight within one specific region, typically around your area still. And usually that is about a 750-mile radius around your home. And with that, you can get home weekly or multiple times per week. So sometimes like every other night, otherwise a little less frequent than that, but still at least getting home weekly. And again, that ability to meet your lifestyle. And then we also have jet set. So if you don't live in an area that has a huge hub or major port, that is no problem. We can definitely find you a position that hauls freight in an area that doesn't have as many drivers. So we will fly you to a location and then you will drive for us. And that can be across the lower 48.
All right, and then one other thing I did want to touch base on is that pay overview. So when it comes to pay, that does vary depending on how much tractor trailer experience you have. And then also we do look at how many miles you are covering within that position. If you are talking with your recruiter and there is a set mileage per week, you do have opportunity to increase that once you are comfortable with it. And then also sometimes guarantee pay can be brought into that situation as well. And guarantee pay is just to make sure that your transition from orientation to out over the road is sufficient and you are comfortable and you're still earning an average of a certain weekly pay per week.
Great, and we have a question from Lorenzo. Lorenzo asks, how long do you have to do over the road before you can do intermodal with no experience?
All right, so when it comes to that inexperienced training, you don't need to have any over the road experience at all. We do actually send you to that 19-day training, and then they just make sure you are comfortable with the position. It is consecutive days as well. And if you do need a little more training or you're not comfortable with something, they do offer time to do that on the weekends as well.
Awesome. And yeah, I want to touch on something there then. Our safety is our number one core value, safety first and always. And we're going to make sure you're comfortable and ready to go in the truck before you are out over the road on your own. So we're going to make sure that you are safe and ready to go, not only for yourself, but for the public too.
All right, and then one other thing when it comes to figuring out who your recruiter is, let's say you do have a recommendation, we do offer a referral bonus. All you have to do is have the name of the current driver who is, like I said, it has to be a current driver. And then we would type in their information, they submit something through Compass, and then we kind of go from there. And if you don't have a referral, that's fine as well. We do just accept all type of direction when it comes to finding drivers.
Yeah, and down the line, you can always refer drivers as well. There is definitely a compensation piece there for you when you are a hired on driver as well. So refer your friends, family, and anyone else you may meet at truck driving school. And with that, I do just want to touch on one more thing in terms of pay. So Intermodal does offer a unique pay structure in the fact that we offer mileage pay. We pay cents per practical mile, and then you also have that load pay rate. So you are going to get paid then a load pay rate for each load you take on. And then in addition to that, we do offer a max performance pay rate bonus, and that's going to vary based off of position, but we would be happy to go through that with you when you do call in. And then in addition to that, we do offer accessorial pay as well, and that's going to compensate for things such as stop-offs, crosstown hauls, layovers, breakdowns, things like that. So once again, Intermodal does offer not only a flexible lifestyle, but then a great pay package as well. So please go onto our website, schneiderjobs.com, or give us a call at 1-800-44-PRIDE for more information. And it was a great time to talk with you, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon.